All right, I've gone ahead and started the recording. We may have some more show up in a minute, I don't know. And we'll go ahead and start because I've got 1 o'clock. That's what the computer shows. That's what my phone shows also. Now, hold on 1 second. I want to look at this message. This is a rather important one to me. All right, I see we got 1 more joined in, so I'll get that. And then we'll get going. I think I got everybody. Let's see. I can double check over here. Okay. Joseph, Justin. Okay, I got everybody marked, so we'll go ahead and go. As we're doing today, we are coming down to the end of the semester. Registration is underway. If you haven't registered for spring and you're going to come spring, please register as soon as possible. Your advisors are available for advising you and assisting you in registering at this point. At some point later this month, beginning of December, we will make a decision on canceling some classes for low enrollments. And that's a critical reason for you getting in classes now, particularly if it's a class you need to graduate, because we do look at that also. We'll carry classes with low numbers for those that need them to graduate, and also if they're classes that's the only time we offer them at. So we do look at that as we make cancellation decisions. But there are some classes running low that may not ought to be low. Second thing, graduation. You do have to apply to graduate from GNTC. If you're just going to get the pieces of paper, that doesn't cost you anything, but you have to do the application for graduation. And that's what they look at, double check to make sure you do meet the requirements and order the papers from. They will mail you the papers for free, whether you walk or don't walk. If you choose to walk, that will cost you an extra $30. December's graduation is in Dalton. CISTs will be at 12 o'clock on December the 2nd. I have to be there at it. And so that's coming up there. Now, as we're in the last 2 weeks, and if you're going to graduate in May, you need to apply for graduation now so they can verify as you register, or if you've already registered for spring, that you have registered for the correct courses and actually will graduate in spring, assuming you complete all the classes. Second part of that is that also we are down to the end, so calendar wise, Next week will be a full week. I should be here on campus the rest of this week, as far as I know, all day long. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I should be around on campus on my normal hours all day. Fridays, I telework for part of it sometimes. So anytime, I would encourage you, if you're going to come see me on campus, first call me, email me, make sure I'm going to be here at the time you want to come. Even if it's outside of what I've got posted as office hours or in that office hour period. Sometimes I get calls away to be at different things. I try to do just like yesterday, if I'm going to be off campus for a day, to let all of y'all know that I won't be on campus that day, which is what I did yesterday morning. I posted in announcements and told you I would be off campus all day. I did not answer any emails yesterday, did not check emails yesterday. That's the actual big part of it. Because my email system had messed up on Monday, but I was checking them okay through Monday, even though the email system didn't want to work correct on my machine. I was still doing it. Yesterday I had leadership walker training all day, and then I went to Copper Hill, which is about 60 miles, I guess, or more from here. Have to go up to Cleveland and then across Tennessee to just a few miles from North Carolina. And I was at a Kiwanis meeting last night, their 100th anniversary as a club, and they had a special dinner for it. And then we came back and we left at 5 from here and got back about 10 o'clock last night or thereafter. I think it was really shortly after 10 o'clock. When I got home, it was definitely after 10 o'clock, and some of the food didn't agree with me. Let me click back on the chat window. I'm going to type in the chat the correct spelling. Kiwanis is a service organization that is out there. It's an international one. It's in 160 nations, I believe. There's local clubs all over. Those of you that haven't heard of Kiwanis probably have actually heard of the youth organization, the high school organization for Kiwanis. Because in the high schools, we sponsor clubs that are called Key Clubs. And Key Clubs are actually Kiwanis clubs for high school students, which were service clubs in high school. So some of you may have belonged to Key Club, or that at least knew about Key Club when you were there in high school. So that's where I'll, and notice the K on it. But I'm active in Kiwanis. I'm governor-elect of Kentucky, Tennessee District, which means I'll be over starting October 1 next year. For a year, I'll be over all of the Kiwanis clubs that are located in Kentucky and everything east of some line west of Nashville in Tennessee, plus a few clubs in Georgia, which includes my club, which is in Fort Oglethorpe, and a couple of clubs up in Virginia that includes Bristol. But that's Key Club is the high school part of Kiwanis and is sponsored by Kiwanis clubs. Both of them working on service. Kiwanis' big emphasis on service is service to children, and that they do a lot of things all over. They do more than just service to children. They do projects that benefit all other ages also, but children is the emphasis. So, and the organization has been around since 2015, I believe. Yeah, 2015. And in Kentucky, Tennessee, it's been here since 2016. And that club over in Copper Hill, which is way out of the way, has been there since 2000. Since 2000. Those were 19. It was founded in 1915. The Kentucky Tennessee ones, the first club was put in 1916, and the first, and then the Copper Hill Club was put in 1921. And so we've just played through a lot of 100th anniversaries, and there's a number of other clubs that'll be going through 100th anniversaries. So I went over there and had that. When I got home, I didn't feel real good. Something in the food didn't hit right on me, apparently. And so I laid down and I didn't check email last night. I have checked email this afternoon because my email was acting up still this morning. I got that fixed finally. Not exactly sure what I did, but I got it fixed. I rebooted and went in, and it wanted me to do a linkage, and I did. And between all of that, all of a sudden it started working. I did discover I didn't have any emails from any students from Monday afternoon. Well, I answered through, I think I answered some Monday night actually, but I didn't have any from the last time I had checked as of yesterday morning, right before I went to leadership. Until now, that there was no emails from students. So there hadn't been any for me to answer, but I didn't know that until I could see them. So I am caught up on that. I have not started grading discussions yet. I've been involved in several other things today, dealing with, and we'll see what's happening. So we'll see how things all go. So I'm proceeding to do on that. But here's the thing, next week, except for Wednesday afternoon, I should be on campus all week. We have advisory committee at Catoosa Wednesday afternoon. And then after it, I'm supposed to go to lunch with a group of CIST faculty. And then by the time we have lunch, after we've had that meeting at 1 o'clock, that means it's going to be 3 o'clock or later, probably pushing. And so we're pretty much pushing out the end of the day for me. So I won't be back on campus Wednesday afternoon. And then the following week is Thanksgiving week. There's no classes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have nothing due on that Monday. Stuff is that I would have had due on that Monday is pushed back to the Monday after Thanksgiving. And the school is closed on that Thursday, Friday. Theoretically, from what I'm just picking up now, it appears they're going to let faculty take those days off as annual leave if they want on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If they do, if they don't have required activities for us to be here, I'm going to be off that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'll take off that whole week. I will check email during the week. I'll try to check it every day, but if I'm on the road, etc., I can't promise you that. So I'll do the best I can as we go. We'll just wait and see how it all goes. Okay. But I will be checking it regularly. Of course, that means I won't use all of my leave because I'll cut it back for the days depending on how much I work. The following week, so next week we'll have a collaborate session on Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock as normal, not Wednesday as we're doing today. That next week is Thanksgiving week. No collaborate session, no discussion during that week, although the discussion from the week before is not due until the Monday after Thanksgiving. Now, the week after Thanksgiving is your last full week of class. We will have a collaborate session that Tuesday at 1. There is a discussion that week to do. There are obviously the normal choices that you've got for it. The first week's the only one usually that's a foul up on that, unless I hit something else during a semester. I didn't this semester, but sometimes where they sent me to a meeting or training that because of trying to schedule it, I couldn't do the collaborates during a week, and everybody has to do a discussion. That's not that issue there. You'll have choice of collaborate or discussion. Um, the and that will be the last collaborate session and the last discussion for the semester. The following week after that, we only have class on Monday. Your assignments and tests are all due that Monday, December the 6th. I will not accept assignments and tests late after the 11:59, December the 6th. Late penalties, etc., it doesn't make any difference. You've got until that 11:59 that night to turn them in, because I have to have grades turned in by 10 o'clock that Friday morning. So that's going to be some busy stuff on it. Okay. Besides that, still haven't taken final yet at that point. So you got that deadline on that on December the 6th. December the 7th is finals day. Actually, they have it on the calendar as 2 days, but you do the final on one day or the other day. So I've gotten all my classes finals finish on December the 7th. Your final actually will be available from December the 4th through December the 7th. So you'll have the weekend to take it on, or Monday and Tuesday. Again, it has to be done by that Tuesday night. No lateness on it. Yes, because you're just going through the graduation ceremony that night. You will not get any papers that night. Those will be mailed to you later after grades have all been submitted and they've made sure that you did meet the requirements for graduation. So the fact you walked across graduation stage does not mean that you did graduate. Okay? So you still have things due through that next Tuesday. And my class, and if you've got other instructors, you may have stuff to do through that Wednesday. Because if they're in-person classes, certain of the exams are supposed to be scheduled on Tuesday, and certain classes exams are supposed to be scheduled on Wednesday to keep you from having a ton of exams all on the same day. So that just depends on how the calendar works on when they can schedule graduation. Usually they have graduation actually that Thursday after the classes end, but I would assume there was a conflict on getting the Dalton Convention Center on December the 9th. So they had to do it on December the 2nd. But I've seen that happen at plenty of colleges and everything else. But as a normal rule nowadays, you never get presented your actual papers at graduation. For one thing, that keeps any mess ups on it from giving them out, that you give out the wrong person the wrong diploma, and then trying to get that all straightened out. You mail them out to everybody. I remember when I first started teaching, we didn't give them out at graduation, and then you had to go over to the school and right after graduation, and we were doing an auditorium right attached to the school, and everybody had to go down to the administration building and go through the office to get their copy of their diploma, and that we were handing those out in mass production in there. I just noticed we had some changes on here. And no, I don't have any hardly. I just got a hello from Justin, but I guess he got cut off and is coming back. So in any event, that's what's happening on that. So just be aware of those deadlines and that type of stuff. Okay. I know it sounds a little weird on it, Colby, but that's normal on it, on doing a graduation before A lot of schools do before you graduate. Because the other problem is like dorm schools and stuff, it's then about trying to do the dorm emptying while you're doing graduation, etc. on it. So a lot of times it just works a little differently. And then some end up with graduation being a week or two after the semester ends, just to not have that weirdness on it, and supposedly hand out everything. All right, now y'all are in chapter 7 this week. You're coming down to the end of the course. You've got 3 chapters left, and you've got 3 weeks left. So you're doing chapter 7 this week, which is going further into Active Directory, and that you're going to be setting up advanced Active Directory now. So you're going to you've learned how to deal with domains. You learned how to deal with forest. Now you're going to deal with multi-domain, multi-forest environments, and you're going to work with the trust and learn how trusts are. And that's getting between these different machines and different domains of what information do you trust from another domain. If they accept it, some individual, and approved them, does your domain accept them because that other domain accepted them? So you'll set up trust to establish what's accepted across between domains and forest. And then they'll have you go through and see about how to upgrade your domains in forest and to do those upgrades on it, and then to manage your manage the replication, because if you've got these multiple forests and domains, well, then you got to replicate information from one domain to another domain and replicate it between the forests to make it more local available and where it's not as scattered out. So you'll have replication to replicate all of that Active Directory information without you having to put it back in again or having to tell it to update it on it. So that will be a big thing you're doing there with replication. All right, now, questions for me? Okay. So if there's not any questions or comments, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go, because there's no reason for me to hold y'all in here, because we don't need to do it just for time. That I've got, for one thing, I need to start grading on y'all stuff, and I've been dealing with other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording after I tell you have a good week, and I will see y'all next Tuesday. We'll be back on schedule next week, and we should be on schedule for the last week also at 1 o'clock, and I will see y'all then.